All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Hibike Euphonium, Season 1, Episode 5. They're going to nationals.
They are.
Or they will be trying to go to nationals.
They will be putting in the effort.
Exactly.
And that is something that now, more or less, the group is willing to do.
Right.
Now, not everyone is
happy
about this situation because there's a lot of players in this group. And not everyone, willingly chose to follow the majority with, all their, resolve and willpower and emotional backing of that.
And given that this has been a pattern that a lot of them have been keeping up for some time, it's not exactly a smooth transition.
Yes, but we are starting to see why Kumiko, wow, sorry, I forgot your name, Kumiko. I was going to say Kosaka, but I was like, no, that's the other one. Why you're the main character and how you really helped out the other member of your base group, and that was really wholesome.
Yep, but we got lots of training montages, maybe some more.
Nakagawa.
Right, that's right. And now we are on into whatever the next stage is, but we have also had Kosaka be very defensive of their teacher. We're not entirely sure why.
Yeah. And we know the teacher has some connection to the past in that he listened to their performance when they were back in middle school.
Yeah.
When they went to get their gold dud.
Yep.
Their dud gold.
Dud gold, yes.
Gold. So, yeah. Y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Yes.
Funny, I think that little opening bit in the song is something I've heard in like a Mario game.
Oh, really?
Like, straight up just have heard it used in like a Mario game. Yeah, like I'll have to go back and check to see what the song was that they did before the OP. Unless that's just the beginning of the OP. I don't know.
It could
be. It's a riff that I've heard just in some kind of Nintendo game, and it was probably a Mario game. I'm like, oh, that's the cool part about classical music is when you're someone that's kind of musically illiterate like me, is you'll just recognize like, oh my God, I've actually heard this like 70 times before. I just never noticed that it was this song until, now.
Right. Like when, everyone pretty much knows the beginning of the whole Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Right. Then it's like, but the rest of that song, it's like a 9-minute song, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make
that joke either. I was thinking the same thing. Oh, that's badass. Ah!
There's the lung capacity.
Oh! Oh! Right? The C cup I've always dreamed of. Huh?
She's like, okay, I'm not quite as flat as her.
Ah, they're all...
Oh.
Ah!
Wow. Watch, you're about to get your hopes dashed.
The turn. Yep, there you go. Yep, I was gonna say the turn.
Yep.
Have you grown it up?
Oh, little girls. Wow. Wow.
I think you chose to simp for the right girl, Jacob.
I think I did. Yeah.
More and more. All right. That's going to be sweaty and annoying and... Oh, man. Ah!
Yeah, that really wouldn't work.
Right. Gotta get the steps. Yep, exactly. Oh my God. This is the part where I could totally see myself like flubbing.
Oh yeah, me too.
Quite a while. Yeah, slouching would just lead to a slight decrease or increase in the stride. To the shade we go. The liquids, bring them to me.
Yep.
Oh.
Nice.
こうでこうかあれこうだっけ
That was adorable. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's not saying much. Ah, of course. Of course.
Whoa,
Interesting.
whoa.
Why?
Oh,
Interesting.
very interesting. Yeah, they're filling in as a group. Even though the girls aren't filling in, you know, that's just something
God
that's
damn it.
gonna be necessary. Nice. I like that he's respecting the time. Oh! Yeah, because they can't keep the kids.
All right.
Wow, and now they're doing this
Cool.
of their own volition to where
Yeah.
it's like, I have to think about the parents and the fact that I can't keep the kids here too late.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoa. They actually look pretty decent.
Yeah.
God, these just look like real places. Like,
Yep.
like,
Leave it to KyoAni.
yeah, KyoAni just... Yep.
Yep. That yawn. Don't fall asleep on the train, though.
Oh!
Maybe go sit with her?
Oh. Oh.
Oh, those shimmering eyes.
Yeah.
I'm madly, fiercely in love with him. And that's when she... Yeah,
Oh. You almost did it again. What? What?
That, I've seen
What?
that before.
What was that
I've seen
animation?
That was
Whoa.
gorgeous.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are you maybe a bit smitten, Kumiko?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little.
Oh my god.
I can't imagine you use that kind of animation for just anybody.
Right. Aw, no toast. I'm disappointed.
She's already met her
Oh, right. Exactly. And it's not the euphonium we're talking about.
Nope.
Hey, dude's being useful. Whoa.
That is a lot.
Again,
Wow.
it is an ensemble cast after all.
Wow.
God, sometimes this show just really snappily just does everything and it just, oh, it works. Oh.
Tardy. Oh.
私からは特にありません。皆さんの演奏楽しみにしてます。
なんか落差ありすぎだね。
Oh my god.
競技が始まった途端、笑顔のままで演奏しながら飛んだり跳ねたりして、本当に恐ろしい連中なんだよね。
Asuka, you're the scary one.
Yeah.
私たち
Ah,
Oh no.
we're
Oh,
bookended
no.
by greatness.
北宇治って言えばほら高坂玲奈。あの子ってさ、立花の推薦系の
Ah,
北宇治。
you should have come to Shiratorizawa, but instead
Right.
you turned them down.
てかさ、
This girl is...
何が
Yeah.
知らない。南宇治到着したって。ちょっと会いに行かない？宇治に行ったでしょ。
Uh-oh.
Oh.
いいから行こう。
Okay.
ごめん、私今日はいいや。
Wow.
Dang.
特に意味ないんだけどね。勝ったの。
Mhm.
知ってる人があまりいない
Yep.
高校に行って、
Oh.
Okay.
それだけ。スタートはできた？
Oh, that's a good friend right there.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
私はもうスタートしていることに、
Well
Awesome.
done. Well done.
後悔していないことに。
Love it.
ここ挟んで楽勝だってさ。
And then
Wow,
one
not
more.
even. Yeah.
逆に目立っていいんじゃね？メリハリついて。
Okay. All right.
Also, their design is more clean, you know?
Yeah.
With it
That's-
being simpler color design.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
I was gonna keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
音楽とはライバルに己の実力を見
あ
せつけるために
Now you choose to give some
Yeah, here
words.
comes the speech. Here it is.
今ここにいる多くの他校の生徒や観客は北氏の力を未だ知りません。
So why don't we this
Yeah.
time? Yeah.
さ
Ah, that little shot. That was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
見せつけてきなさい。
I like it. I like it.
Oh, like, huh? It's charming. It's
Yeah.
like, it's smooth too. All right.
あれかっこいいね
Huh, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
やるな見た
Wow.
ちょ
Of course. Cool.
Oh, that's
That's great.
so wonderful. Yeah.
サンライズフェスティバルは終わり
Wow. All right.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Wow. That,
Love
there
it.
you go.
That was great.
All right.
All right. So yeah, now it's just straight up. Kumiko's got the hots for Kosaka. Like
I mean,
you don't do that kind of animation when their perspective on the person is
like
just platonic.
I mean, like the one thing that I've always like. It's just a thing in anime is that there'll be times where they'll do lots of shipping like fuel,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then never actually gonna capitulate,
And it's actually
any
just
bit of
bait.
it. Well, not just bait, but like it's just a thing of where it's like, no, they like just end up like sharing how much they care about each other, but
Sure, if it's not a romance focused show,
Exactly,
then
yeah.
it doesn't necessarily have to go anywhere.
right. I mean, regardless of what I want, you know, because that was freaking like gorgeous.
That was so gorgeous.
Right.
Like what?
Just like 2
What?
or 3 seconds of like
Yeah.
perfection.
As far as like, showing the perspective of another character,
Right.
Like I love that so much more than like the roses or like the shining sparkles or whatever.
I don't think I've
just
seen the roses used too much. I think that's
it's
more
mostly
of a,
in shoujo.
That's a shoujo thing, yeah.
yeah.
Which a shoujo this is not. Like,
No.
Down.
Kyo Annie.
Kyo Annie, you gotta
Just
gotta
Please stop.
Oof,
Please stop.
Oh, baby.
It's too much.
that was
It's too much.
something else.
like
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh man. I okay. I have a few things to say. I was talking to Jacob before the discussion bit. I feel like this episode was edited or just produced in such a way that was a step above everything that we got before. And I'm not talking about that one scene, where
Right, where it's just
Kosaka just like
so gorgeous.
hair flip, and it's
Yeah.
just like amazing. I'm talking about like the little editing, kind of fast, cuts and transitions, like all the little extra frames. Essentially, it feels like they're putting into things in order to make sure they get at the fact that this is a full marching band, and we get to focus on a whole bunch of them doing a bunch of little things here and there. It's like this show has so much attention to detail in that regard that it's like, when was the last time I watched a Kyo Annie show other than Kobayashi's Dragon Maid? Like,
Yeah,
I think it was Nichijou.
You haven't watched many KyoAni shows.
I haven't, so I
'cause
think
even
it was
with
Nichijou.
Well, right, and even with Nichijou is something where, like, I think for both of us, more than like watching it all the way through, it was more like watching some episodes, but mostly watching like clips and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I've watched about 70% of Nichijou.
Right,
Yeah.
same, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so watching and Nichijou is one of their older shows, and it definitely
But it still shows the ridiculous effort put into really,
Yes.
really like sporadic scenes.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
and but even then, it's something where the style that they went for in Nichijou is not their traditional style. Like even for the stuff that came before it, it was very different, very well done. You know, the motion and everything was
Okay.
fantastic. But you know, like the simplistic designs, it was very much the
ridiculous Sakuga at
and then ridiculous
multiple
action and
points.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas in
Nichijou Sakuga is like
right. Whereas this feels like something that would be a lot more similar to like, you know, Haruhi or like K-On, but like turned up on a dial on like just how visually gorgeous it looks.
Yeah,
to ridiculous levels.
Right. I felt like this show is basically them just going crazy on the art, keeping the designs, I would say, rather, you know,
fairly
stock to their usual style.
Yeah, they're regular girls after all.
Exactly. Yeah. But the lighting and a lot of the little bits of animation here and there. And then what I was mentioning with the editing is those little bits of, like, those few frames that they're throwing into a half-second clip, you know, or a 1.2 second clip, just to give us a little bit of context as to what they're feeling, thinking, going through the parts of the city that they're going through, just to be like, yes, time has passed. But most other anime would just do that in a, we transition from one scene to the other. Yep. We hold on that, you know, frame.
Show like, one walking shot or something like that. Whereas for this, it's like, no. Let's show you a bunch of different shots very quickly so you have a good feel for the environment and everything like that. And also the emotional state of Kumiko. So that when all of this builds to the climax that is she, oh no, did I make that same flub that I made before? And then that sounds just like something you'd say. It's like, yeah, no, of course she'd be falling head over heels for Kosaka. Like, yeah, I don't like that. As far as visual ways to make to communicate to the audience that it's like, by the way, this person is very special to this other character. That I think that's my favorite example. Like, because it just looked so good, and it was contrasted with like Kumiko being like, basic, like, you know, rectangles of tears coming from her eyes and things like that, you know, showing how she feels and everything. And then all of a sudden, when she's the most nervous, the most scared, Kosaka just sort of, you know, smiles and
suddenly her world's like, whoa. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And I love that she looked at her smile as mysterious, like the steps, but it made her just a little happy, just for whatever reason. It's just like, this is such a wholesome beginning to a really good relationship, and I hope I'm not getting just hard baited in anything here, but I'm just gonna be a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit slow to jump to conclusions with regards to how much romance this show is going to have.
Right, because it isn't a romance show, and it is a show about an ensemble, so it is a very decent possibility that even though these are the main two characters, probably, it might not give them full focus
to where that's even
romantic subplot progression.
To where it's even possible.
Right.
Like, they won't even have enough time to do that.
Like, there was that montage of when they're talking about all the prep they have to do for the festival, and then they're going through, like, all the different characters, and they, like, show the names, and it's like, you got to be kidding me. I hope we're not going to be tested on this, because, damn, that was a lot of them. And it's just super fast. We don't really see them in, you know, much the rest of the episode, but no, it's just there just to help communicate to you how big of an endeavor this is.
Well, that's because this show is ultimately a sports anime.
Right.
This show started off with people failing to get to nationals because they got a dud gold, and then one person who is the fervent, believer in the dream is told by the protagonist that at least we got second, basically. Right. At least we didn't, fail horribly.
The main character that's the heart of the show, who befriends the sort of rival black-haired, hyper-competent, person that there definitely isn't any fan fiction about. So that they can go to nationals.
And then, and then at Sunfest we meet all
the powerhouse teams.
The powerhouse teams.
Right.
With their specific shticks that make them unique, and their specific uniforms so that we can identify them without knowing any of the characters.
Which, by the way, when they were talking about the light blue, uniform,
demons.
the light blue demons, but they were talking about how, like, their marching is impeccable, and then they're, like, panning up on this shot of one of the students and showing how her legs are like ridiculous.
Which
like,
part there?
The girl that's front and center there, right? Because she's got the skirt and everything, right? But when you look at, okay, maybe this was just me, but how wide her hips got compared to, like, the rest of her body?
No.
No,
No.
that didn't seem
No.
kind of okay. And,
No.
and like how sharply it goes into her waist. No, okay. I guess that was just me.
No, that's
Maybe that's just me. But it felt like something where it's like
that's just like all the other girls in the uniforms at Kitaoji as well. Like,
okay.
at least not the
Yeah, sure.
not
Maybe
the
it's
washboard one.
sure. Maybe it's the uniform thing. And yes, that is true. Our main girls are definitely a bit more hydrodynamic, shall we say, than a lot of the other girls in this show.
Can we go back? Actually, I just gotta say, as a comedy bit to start the episode, we start with
Yeah, everyone getting a physical. Yeah.
well, yeah, but just the idea of our very bubbly Kato Hazuki girl here,
Lung capacity and blowing skills.
having some serious blowing skills, like that's amazing, and the
Yep.
way they're like the power levels.
this is too strong.
This is like
Right.
something the guys should be able to like put
Right,
out.
right.
And
Yeah.
then we have this like, the reason for this is the exposition of a tuba players, and it's just like, okay,
Yep.
I get it, show. This is a clever way to sneak in some exposition. But you're not gonna like just move on from the fact that you chose this to be the way that you would start an episode.
Oh, right. And then
Just the
and then she's getting a lot of she's getting private lessons from her senpai or
Right.
something like that.
breathe, more,
Yeah.
more. And like I love it. It's hilarious, but like the way that this episode is kind of set up to be like, this is the kind of quick paced little snap editing they're gonna do is even down to the dialogue. The way that she's all like, oh, the wind ensemble is scary. It sounds rough. No way. And then immediately, whew, over here. And then my bust size hasn't changed at all since last year. So it's like, you don't even get time to linger on that exposition that was, kind of just ham-fisted in there. Now we go to flat justice jokes, and then...
Right. And then her like being like,
They're like, Kumiko, why? Aren't you supposed to get curvier? Become more adult-like in the spring.
Yeah.
The C cup I've always dreamed of. It's
Right,
like,
right. And
beautiful.
by the way, one of the things that I appreciate about this is that she isn't like, I always dreamed of being a G cup or something,
No.
ridiculous, like, is oftentimes just sort of thrown in there in anime, because why
yeah.
not? All the girls have to have the massive set of badonkers, right?
Right.
Some real hubba balloonkas, But no,
killing me, man.
she's just like, why couldn't they grow at least a little bit? And then immediately she sees the tiniest girl she knows, and she's like, but she's flatter than I am.
There's hope.
There is hope,
It's like, something wrong? She's like, no. And it's actually like, it's so fast the way this little thing happens. She's like, is something wrong? And she's like, no, Midori-chan. And then just the way she just kind of responds with, like, did you just do what I think you just did?
And then Hazuki, just stretching, she's like, washboard, and they're like, huh? What? Oh,
What?
just thanks for cheering me up, even though it was unintentionally. And then and it's perfect because it's showing how Kumiko's world, like, because when you're in high school, the things that matter don't really matter, right? So she's all like, yes, I'm comparing myself to my friends and being like, I'm better than them in this regard, showing that she's she's got her petty little flaws. And then Asuka shows up, and it's
she's
just like,
I was starting to lose hope. Oh, Asuka senpai.
Asuka.
And
They
she's
call
like,
out to her.
you're done with your physicals.
Right.
Have you grown up at all, children?
yeah, how did they go?
And it's like shows them encroaching on her in frame, like something
Right.
like calling out of the TV
Dark
in a horror
background, and
movie.
yeah. Have you grown at all, little girls?
And
No.
then she just starts crying. Yeah.
Oh my God.
This show.
You're in trouble now.
That's wow. And then, of course, they used the comedy to basically prep us for all right,
Uniforms.
next scene is basically going to be this is why they were talking about all this
And
stuff.
she's still with the uniform. She's like,
Right. But now the whole costume change thing, which is a fun thing that you have to do, I'm sure, on the production side of things in anime is, now we have to have
new costumes.
new
Let's do
drawings
this.
for this whole thing here. And not just for 1 or 3 of the characters,
But for all 60
40
of
of them or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
One of the other things, though, that I thought was kind of interesting here. Now, this could be unintentional potentially, but unintentional potentially. But given the stuff that happens later in the episode where it's like, oh, you know, Kumiko likes Kosaka, it felt like the early bit of the episode there with the uniforms was also seeding that element of like, hey, what little crushes might be going unsaid? You know,
That's true. There
Like,
was a couple
instances
of that.
where it's like the,
Oh,
you know,
you're so cute in this. No. Can
Yeah.
I take a picture with you later? Yeah.
I'll take one with you every year. Like, you know, it's the, no, this ain't just gals being pals. You know, it's
not
like they really like
Not at all.
how you look in that uniform, you know.
Because what I loved also there was that this was an unfulfilled triangle, if that's the way it was going. And it was just like, they're all doing this, and then you have a good figure and you're pretty. While that's happening,
She's
we get a
staring-
pan-up shot of Kosaka, and then she can feel her eyes on her.
Right.
She's like, huh?
Well, yeah. While that line is being said of, you know, yeah, you've got a good figure and you're pretty, while she's looking at Kosaka's figure.
And then
you know,
Kumiko's like, oh, looks down and away. Kosaka just has that like, wait, oh.
oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
There you go.
now the bit with Aoi of being like,
She's busy.
Well-
She's not necessarily like one
Right.
that wanted to do this originally.
but also she's senpai, and she's not used to calling her that. Did Kumiko like get held back a year at some point? Maybe I'm getting this wrong or something, but it feels like if they used to go to school together, right? She would have been her senpai back then too.
Right.
You know? Like maybe it's something where if she was her senpai before, there was that year where she had moved on to another school and she hadn't, and if they hung out, then she wouldn't necessarily call her senpai because they were at different schools at that point.
What if it's the other
Like,
way
maybe that's it,
around,
but-
though? What if it's the other way around? What if it's actually Aoi that's the one that has some things that switched up in the school transition?
Potentially. I feel like I might just end up being like reading into this too much, and it could just be that in that previous year she didn't have to call her senpai because they weren't going to the same school. But I could see that potentially being something there, because there was also this part where then she forgot to call her senpai after Aoi said that she wasn't going to be practicing extra, she was going to be going to cram school. Now,
Right.
that could just be an honest slip up, but it seemed to me like it was something where Kumiko was subconsciously in her mind, potentially, basically realizing, I am not looking up to her in this regard here.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
not as far as wind ensemble goes.
That was the thing that I was thinking there, was that it was more or less something about the perception of roles rather than actual age.
Like age and things,
And
yeah.
that's because of the fact that Aoi is the one that's basically a leader, but also like not her leader necessarily. Like in
Right,
some ways,
she's-
Asuka is that one for Kumiko, because she's present. They're subdivided into the
Right, not
individual
just
components.
on like the section standpoint, but
Right.
also just personality and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, because Aoi was the one person who said, no, I don't want to go to nationals, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah. Is that like exactly like the way it went, that she's Shuichi?
No, Shuichi is the guy friend.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a problem I made in a previous thing. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I mixed up
Yeah,
some
they're
of the
both
names.
childhood friends. Yeah.
Both childhood friends. Gotcha. Yeah, she was the one that had the I have an
alibi.
An alibi. There
Right.
you go.
And also, yeah, the bit with Shuichi of, you know, is this seat taken? And then he's like, oh no. And then she realizes it's him and she's like, Tch. You know, and he's like, what? Come on.
Yeah, that was good. Okay, we got ourselves to the actual march. We get to see them all ready to go.
Yep.
But then the nervousness sets in as, well, wait a minute. Saki, he's a little late.
Yeah, and we're going in between the two powerhouses, like you know, not to stack it up against us or anything, or you know, make it seem truly dire.
Is it Saki
but,
or Taki?
I don't remember.
The
teacher.
The teacher. Yeah.
Yeah,
Taki. It's
Taki Sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Yep.
But them getting to basically stand out because everyone was so surprised that they actually did perform well.
Yep.
It's something that led to a lot of confidence coming over the group as a whole as they were actually in the middle of the march. But I liked that the part right before it led to some potential awkwardness.
Oh, that was great.
And the connection with a past friend from middle school.
Yep, because Kumiko...
Azusa.
Yeah, because... Right, Azusa.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, another character named Azusa. Lovely. But because Kumiko as a character, as a main character, is very soft-spoken. She's not super shy, but she's timid, right?
Yeah, she's confident with people that she knows.
But that's not a large number of people.
Because she's intentionally seeking out a fresh new start.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this felt like a really good test because since she wasn't trying for nationals before, right? She was just, having fun in middle school.
Right.
And now she's in a situation where she kind of needs to try for nationals, even though it's her own decision. But a lot of what she's been doing up till now has been specifically because she doesn't want to let Kosaka down. Yeah. Right? She doesn't want to disappoint her or think like she's bringing down ruining their chances and things like that, right? But here, she had a legit choice, you know? Yay, come hang out with their friends. And in fact, pressuring her to do so a little bit.
Right.
Like, yeah, come on, it'll be real quick. It'll be fine. We'll be back in time. She's like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
No.
I need to solidify what I chose to do here. And we had a little moment recently as a group deciding that we were actually really going to try for this. And this is an example of, am I really going to try to have a fresh start?
Exactly.
And also, if this is a good friend of mine, she'll understand that I'm doing this and won't make any kind of petty remarks about it.
Right,
Which
that ability
she
to say
didn't.
no. Yeah.
Azusa, I don't even know you, but you're
great.
You rock. Because I could totally see someone who is, a first
Going
year
all
in
mean
high
girl?
school. No, just at the very least, just being like, oh, okay. Like, just being disappointed.
Sure, yeah, not
trying to throw it
understanding.
back at her, but just not understanding.
Right. But instead it's the, oh, gotcha. Okay, well, we'll meet in the competition.
Right, and then it's the thing of where she's like, no, I'm excited for you because this is something where I came into this and I reached out to you so that we could connect.
Right.
And then it's a thing of where, oh, well then I just wanted to know why you went there. I'm really excited because it's just something that, surprised, it surprised us. I also liked that she didn't answer specifically when she says, well, did you get the new start? Did you get that new start?
Right.
And she looks over basically to be like, I think I did.
Right.
But she's not in that state to where she can say with certainty,
yeah,
I got it. Because I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, actually. I think Kumiko, in her little thing of accidentally saying too much, it's the shtick of she's too honest. So in this case here, she can't honestly say yes or no.
Right, because she's not sure.
In the middle of it.
The human heart is in conflict with itself.
So the beauty of it is that she's like, I actually don't know.
Right.
So she just kind of shorts out and is like, well, that's it over there, if it's anything.
So
but I don't know yet. I'm still in the middle of it.
And then as she's going, she's like, no, this is my fresh start. And it's like, that's good stuff.
And you weren't regretting it one bit.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
The song that they ended up playing, I gotta say, like, I really like it. Now, I don't know much about, wind ensembles or anything like that. But given the fact that it's like, okay, they're in this situation, the sort of, sports underdog, we're the school that no one expects anything from, so we've got to show everyone up, right, and make them be like, ooh, who are they actually? Oh, let's remember them. It's great. But since I was kind of expecting that sort of response, because they have been training really hard, I was curious what they were going to do with the song to really sell that.
Yeah.
And when it got to the main sort of piece of the song that, the chorus, I guess that would be, I don't know. It felt very much like the real show is here. Like nothing too gaudy or showy, but just like, here we are, Yeah. You happy you came to see us? Like, so I really like that.
Yeah. And they went out confident. And we got to see, again, that snappy, well-done editing of just showing a bunch of the girls and the guys all just having a great time with this. And that's just really cool because if you're going to have all these characters moving, while it is in unison, so maybe that makes it
a
slightly
little bit easier
to animate or something like that, it's still pretty impressive that they actually made it look really good too. So
Yep.
yeah,
Also,
fantastic stuff.
Kosuka, great job doing your little,
Trumpet!
your little breaking the rules a little bit,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
like, hey,
Yeah.
remember why we're here. We're gonna be fine.
Remember those trumpet blasts before at the school?
Yep.
I did that for you. I meant
that's right.
this for you.
Yep.
But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
Yes, we stream every weekday. The info is in the description. Check it out. But for the gaming stuff, Caleb, you're playing.
I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 on Wednesdays and Fridays.
Right. And then on Thursdays, I'm playing Persona 4 Golden.
Yes, if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
Next time.